Hello and welcome to another episode of Truly Bedrock with me, Mr. Beardstone. I'm back from my holiday, I'm feeling refreshed and I'm already missing the hot tub if I'm perfectly honest. But while I've been away, havoc has occurred all over my base. All sorts of things have been going on and well, one of the most important things, let's get to that first, it's not havoc, it's mini blocks. Look at that, that's a mini respawn anchor and there's some mini logs and things up there as well. Oh, we're going to have fun with these, but more on that later. You may also notice over my shoulder there's a chicken. A very cute chicken, but a very giant chicken. And lots of that stuff. Ah, jeez. Let's go have a look, see what's been going on. So what this appears to be is some form of channel point redemption, and I believe it's Tis Tom, and yeah, his chat doesn't seem to mind spending points on this stuff which I'm not a fan of. And we have lots of messages here. Captain sends his regards with the Tis side eye. Hi, I'm Elric. I'm Elric too. Thrift store coffee table. El Polo Diablo. Scaff hold me. This is just, I'm not happy about this. I mean, I despise this stuff. But that chicken is just so cute. I can't take him down. He's going to stay here for a while. This stuff, however, this stuff has to go, I'm afraid. It's just, this will not stand. Diver cat, too, really? Right, with that disgusting stuff out of the way, we do need to decide what we want to do with our little chicken friend here. So we may well move him somewhere, because he's a little bit in the middle of the field here. Or we could put a building around him, I don't really know. If you've got an idea of what you think we should do with him, then do let me know. But this isn't all. This isn't all that happened while I was away. Shenanigans have also been going on over here while I was away, so before I went I did separate out the pandas. We left the brown panda and another one in here because we were going to try and breed up another brown panda or two, and we separated all the rest over there. And there were a lot more. All my pandas, well, not all of them, some of them are still there, but the rest of my pandas seem to have gone, and I have two polar bears. So this is going to warrant some form of investigation, but something has gone on here, and it will not stand, and I'm not going to lie, my prime suspect at the moment is Tis Tom, because he's clearly been over here causing shenanigans already. It's not all doom and gloom though, because over this way we also received payment for our pickles that we delivered to Jessie at the end of last episode, and it is beautiful. Quite literally, I mean, look at that. So, not only did we get a Jessie tree, an awesome one at that, we also got this little book. To Beardy, thank you very much for your delivery. I'll be sure to shop again when these supplies run out, because I never do things simple. I thought this tree full of treasures would be the perfect vessel for your payment. Have a lovely day, Jessie B. And I'll tell you what, she's not wrong. And I can't bring myself to take those diamonds out. I don't need them at the moment. I've got about 3.5 stacks of diamonds. We're doing okay on that front, although we do also need to go check out the shopping district. I wonder if we've made any sales, but we'll get to that in just a moment. And yeah, it just looks so good. I want to keep it. I want to make more, which means I need to make more diamonds. So for now, the tree stays. In fact, well, the tree's always going to stay, but for now the diamonds stay in the tree, and hopefully we won't get desperate enough to ever need them. Since being back from my holiday, I've also made a few changes in here. The most changeable thing, I suppose, is probably this, our little cocoa bean farm washer type thing. It's a very straightforward thing. It's literally just cocoa beans stuck on the wall, and then we've got some dispensers up there that when I push this button... Oh, okay, I shot a firework there. Let's try that again. So when I push this button... dispenses the water, washes all the cocoa beans into the bottom bit. They all float down underneath, and then they go underneath the floor as well, because, well, you know me, I can't do things straightforward. And then they drop into these water chutes, they fly along down there on the ice, and then they come up this bit here. There we go, perfectly timed, and they go straight into the dropper here, and filter into the chest at the bottom here. And the last thing we've done is actually through here, and this leads on to what we're going to be doing today. So in here, I've installed 5 storage silos. So behind here, each one of these has about 10 to 12 chests, I can't really remember. They're all double chests, and these lights will light up as they have contents in them. and when they're full it will load onto the next one and so on, so I can see roughly how full they are. And at the bottom here I've just got a couple of shulker boxes which are in front of some hoppers, so I can always just grab and go when I need to. There's a barrel here to put overflow shulkers and also to dye the ones that are going to go in there so it stays on the theme. And we've also got a chest to the side here which will also filter some cobble in. If we want to just grab a stack or two, we'll be able to do that. And we've got the same thing here for stone, dirt, grass and netherrack. However, we've still got another wall over here which doesn't have any yet, so we are going to be putting another 5 silos in there today, and then we're going to build the dispensing system. So the plan is to have the drop-off silos in here, so I'm going to push this wall back a little bit. We're going to have 4 slots for putting in shulkers, and we're going to have a couple of double chests as well, and they're all going to filter into a water stream which will fire them up to the top there, and then they will go around a sorting system. So what I'll probably actually do is wire the water around the back. Wire the water? Come on, Beardstone, that's not a thing. What we'll do is we'll feed the water around the back, and we'll probably have a tube around behind this one that then shoots them up into the item filters so that it can go around that way, around the edge and across the top of these ones as well. We'll then also need to have somewhere where we can actually catch all the overflow bits, because you know there's always stuff that never quite filters through. However, if you look at where the height of these are, they're going to be just below this floor level here. So we're going to have another storage system up there, so we could always just pump them into a water tube that puts an overflow chest at the top there. First things first, however, we need to build up the silos on this side, so that's going to be our first job. We're going to remove this wall, we're going to put another 5 of these in, and that is going to be for sand, gravel, andesite, diorite, and granite. And I think that will probably do on the silo front for now. If we need more, we can always expand. However, for now, it's probably time for a montage or a time lapse. A short while later, and we have another 5 silos in place, although I have actually changed my mind on what I want to put in them. So we're going to have gravel, sand, blackstone, basalt, and then andesite, because these are resources that I'm more likely to use. The diorite and the granite, I don't really use those very much. If I do, I use them in very small amounts, so I'm probably just going to store them in the room that we're going to put upstairs in some storage barrels. The next thing for us to do is to create the loading system, because we need to make sure that we can feed everything up to the top and have it go around all the item filters. We also need to get the item filters put in the back as well, which we'll do very shortly, and I think we're going to have the loading system here. So I'm going to make a start on that, and I'll meet you back here once we're done. I managed to get the basic unloading system in, and what we've got here is just 4 shulker boxes, which is purely so that they're blue and they tie in a bit better, and we've got these double chests here, so we've got plenty of dumping space to actually put stuff in. I did consider having actual shulker box unloaders, but this is Bedrock, and I couldn't really find a reliable way to do it, where it always returned your shulker boxes or always took them. It was just, yeah, it was very unreliable. So I'm just going to manually sort stuff. Well, I say manually sort stuff. I'll manually dump stuff into these chests, but I can offload loads at once. That goes into a dropper system, which then spits them into a water tube. And that water tube comes out up the top here. So currently, anything that you put in those chests will get spat out and will make its way up here. And that's as far as we've got so far, because I've run out of ice. So I need to get some more ice so I can carry this along. And I don't actually know if this is going to work or not. I'm going to put ice in between these spaces here. I don't know if stuff's going to get caught up in the hoppers, so we're going to run some tests. I might need to completely change the system and make it different so that it works a bit better. I don't really know. But anything that doesn't get picked up goes along and then goes into a chest here, which we might put a bubble vator in and have it so that there's like a couple of double chests there just in case there's loads that doesn't go through. But I don't really know yet because there's not much space for an overflow. The other thing we're going to do up here is then put in lots of other storage. So this wall here and this wall on this side are probably going to get covered up, and I'm also quite tempted to put a barrel here that's labelled with, for example, what's that one, andesite, that feeds directly into this silo, so I can still dump the occasional bit of andesite and stone and sand and so on that I will inevitably end up with in my inventory. To save me having to go all the way down to the sorter, I'm considering putting a drop-off point here. I mean, whether they're going to be individual ones for the silos, or whether that's just somewhere here that dumps them back into the water stream, I haven't decided yet, but I'm sure we'll figure that out at some point. For now, however, I need to go get me some more ice. I might buy some. We've not been here for a while, and look at this. There's like a massive turnstile thing and a massive train track, and this is just awesome. I'm assuming this is Dadcraft, because this used to be where his diamond tree shop was. I think he called it the diamond tree, and it looks like this is likely still the same place, but it certainly had an upgrade. Look at this. Oh, he's selling concrete. That could be handy. And lots of random blocks and things like that. Redstone. Tipped arrows. Well, there's no tipped arrows in there. What are these? Dispenser. Lapis ore, fletching table, MB. Oh, mini blocks. Mini blocks, 1 diamond each. Awesome. So, yes, I did mention at the start of the episode that we have had mini blocks added. So, Foxy No-Tail has created this pack. They've got full resolution mini blocks. Look at that. That looks absolutely amazing. And, yeah, you can buy these from the Wandering Trader. So, for the last week, I've been keeping an eye out for Wandering Traders, and I've not seen a single one, and it's very frustrating. The only thing I have managed to find was Liara, who did have a Wandering Trader about her person at the time, and we kind of went halves on what he had. So, I have got a few mini blocks, but I really want lots. They're just amazing, and that ender chest looks very cool. So, yeah, we might have to spend some diamonds in here at some point as well, but we'll see what we can find on our own first. So, the other thing to do is just to see if we've made any profits before we go and buy our ice. I wonder if anyone's actually bought any shulkers from us yet. Maybe they can't get down the ladder. Maybe that's the problem. There we go. So we haven't sold any shulkers or endstone, but we did sell an elytra and a couple of stacks of chorus fruit. So we have managed to get 11 diamonds out of this shop. Let's quickly go and check the others. You never know. Looks like we've sold some nautilus shells as well over here at the sea shop, which is nice. I don't know if we've sold any more pickles though. We have been supplying them in bulk lately. And we've sold some coral. Well, that's a first. Okay, not too bad. We've managed to come away from the shopping district with 20 diamonds, which is 20 more than we had when we got here, so that's good news. And let's go spend it on ice. What have we got here? So 1 diamond for half a stack. And there's none in there. Okay. Packed ice. 1 diamond per stack. Oof. I mean, how many am I gonna... I'm only gonna get... Oh god, right, so that's going to be 9 diamonds for a stack of blue ice, if I do that. That is not ideal. Well, we don't need loads, so if we just buy 4 stacks of the packed ice, hopefully that will give us enough blue ice to do what we need to do. We only probably need about 20 or so. But yeah, we'll see how we get on. Anyway, we've made our profits, we've explored the new shops, and we're going to head back. Okay, so we're back here, we've got our ice, we've got our blue ice. We're going to get the rest of this water system, or sort of water item delivery system. Yep, we'll go with that. We're going to get the rest of this sorted. We're going to test it and make sure that stuff is actually getting picked up and making its way across if it doesn't need to be picked up. And we'll see how we get on, I guess. I'll see you back here in just a moment. I can confirm it is now working. Look at this. So I haven't had to change anything. The blocks and everything are going perfectly well across the hoppers that they don't need to go in. And as you can see, they are going all the way around. And then this particular one is the andesite, so that's dropping in just lovely. And as you can see from those lights, it's working a treat. So down here, what I've done is I've actually loaded up these boxes with, well, just lots of stuff I know needs to go in there. And that was for my test, really, and that's been running for a few minutes. It's all going around fine. I've seen lights on the cobble one, I've seen lights on the stone one. I've just broken a block there, but we'll fix that in a moment. And yeah, I think this is going to work absolutely wonderfully. So the next thing to do, I guess we need to head back upstairs. Now that we've got our storage silos sorted, the next plan is actually going to be up in this area here at the top in the, well, what will be the sugarcane farm. So the plan here is to have sugarcane on this wall and on this wall. We're going to extend this up pretty much to the top, and we're going to have sugarcane, as I say, on both walls, and then we're going to use this bottom area here as a collection trough, essentially. So we're going to have a couple of water streams coming from each side that are going to feed into a stream in the middle that's then going to go into chests, which will push it up a bubble vator, no doubt, and then we're just going to have chests here for storing all of the sugarcane itself. And with this, I think I'm literally just going to use pistons to break it once it gets to a certain point, and I may well just do that on a timer instead of using lots of observers, and it's literally just going to fling the sugarcane directly over this way towards the water pool. This way we're not containing the outside or anything like that, and the server's restarting in 1 minute. So I'm going to crack on with this, and I imagine you're probably going to see this in the form of a time-lapse, because it's probably something I'm going to do on stream, because I'm going on stream in a couple of minutes, and, well, this seems like an ideal project for it. So I'll meet you back here after stream and after a cheeky little time-lapse. There were some problems, and those problems have resulted in a lack of a time-lapse. I'm sorry about that. Basically, I did a thing where I started the time-lapse from my camera account, and the first thing I did pretty much was to stand on a shulker box and open it, which, if you know Bedrock at all, that can often lead to crashing out nearby players. In this case, it crashed out my camera account, and I just didn't notice. So, sorry about that, there's no time-lapse, but there is a sugarcane farm. So as you can see, it's not quite finished yet. I still need to sort out the lighting and the collection systems, but the farm itself is all working. So we played around with a few different ideas on stream, and I did more redstone. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't. I know I really shouldn't, but I did more redstone, but I did it on stream, and I got help from people, and we did a thing. And it works. It's marvellous. But first, I'm going to quickly show you the inside. So in here we have 12 of these modules, and each of these has 6 plants. So we've got, what's that, 72 plants, I think, if my maths is correct. And quite simply, the sugarcane grows once it gets to a certain level, or after a certain amount of time, I should say. The pistons here, so there's a sticky piston on each side of this column all the way up, and that fires the sponge blocks and breaks all of the sugarcane, half of which comes flying across here and hits these glass panels. I did actually want this open originally, but if I don't have the glass here, when these fire, this sugarcane ends up in this farm. So obviously that's not ideal, so I have had to glass it in after all, but this way the sugarcane hits the glass, it drops straight down into the water, goes into this water tube and makes its way over to here. So in regards to the redstone, I wanted to make sure that these were on a timer as opposed to using lots of observers. So I started off with a hopper clock, but just a standard ether hopper clock, but it didn't have enough time in it and I needed to extend it. So now we have this thing. So there are 5 stacks in here, they gradually filter through, and once all this filters through into that one, yeah, basically that one's locked while this one's, let me start again. So the way this works is all of these items here are filtering into this hopper here, and once that hopper is full, it will then unlock this one, and they'll start moving around, and so on, and so on, and so on. We then convert the signal from that having stuff into a solid signal, which the observer detects. And what that means is that when this comes on and when it turns off, it will fire this observer, or I say this observer will detect the redstone there, and it will fire the pistons up here. We've just got a redstone ladder here, which I've had to bodge quite a bit because of the distance between. So yeah, whatever, it works. That's what matters. It works. Oh yeah, there was another incident as well. I finally found my first wandering trader, as in literally the first one since they added the mini blocks, and he had beacons on him. And just as I noticed that, he may have blown up. There was a creeper. Literally, I looked at what he had, and then a creeper appeared, and he exploded. It's just, ah, jeez. I may even be able to show that clip at the end if I can find it. But that aside, we do have a working clock, and then I've hooked up the other side to here. So they don't fire at the same time. You'll have this side fire, and then this side will fire, and so on. But yeah, as I say, once that goes round, that will just fire every sort of 7 to 10 minutes, roughly, which is enough time for some of it to grow, and as I say, that will then shoot down here and get collected and end up over this side, which doesn't appear to be anything there just at the moment, but I think that's because I've not really been in the area. So I'm just going to wait for this to fire and make sure it is actually still working and I've not broken anything, which is quite likely. And there we go. We just saw it fire. The sugarcane is collecting here, and lovely, lovely, lovely. We just need to actually make a thing that collects that properly now. So the other thing is, with this design, obviously it's not lossless whatsoever. If you have sort of 3 high sugarcane here, some of it will end up just landing on the bottom here, which is not ideal, but it should give us plenty of sugarcane for our needs. I'm going to crack on and sort out the storage system here. I need to put a bubble vator in here to take the items up to the top, and then I think I'm going to get a couple of lights in, and we're just going to have a series of chests here that's going to store the items. I think I might need to move the clock back a little bit just to make sure that I've got enough space for all this, but we'll see, and I will be back here in just a moment, I guess. I need to go buy some sea lanterns as well. I keep smashing them. I'll just punch them continuously. Always punching the sea lanterns. Just as I'm leaving to go get some things, it has occurred to me that there's something else I didn't tell you about, and that is I'm now the proud owner of the Trident tag. Trident again. So basically what happened was I was AFK, I was, you know, gonna edit some stuff, and as I was AFK, I was also watching ZF's stream in the background, and in there I saw Liara. Liara said hello, and then promptly told me that Tiz was looking for me. I panicked. I knew that Tiz had the Trident tag Trident. I knew that I was AFK, so I ran to my PC over here. And what did I see but Tiz swooping into my location just as I arrived. So I promptly took off, I used a few rockets to make my getaway, and then I noticed I still had OBS open, so I hit record. Sadly, I didn't have any audio recording stuff open, Adobe Audition was closed, so you don't get to hear my panicked screams. But yes, I guess, here's the clip with some dramatic music. So dramatic music aside, as you can see, that did not go well. So I had run out of rockets. After I made my initial takeoff, I used the only 4 rockets I had on me, and I was trying to drift back down to my rocket storage when I saw Tiz was hot on my tail. I then jumped down this hole behind me, with my plan being to run through my old tunnel, and then run up the stairs and dig my way out of the mountain, block him in, and get to the rockets and make my getaway that way. Problem was, I made a wrong turn. I ended up in a dead-end tunnel, my pickaxe was not in my inventory or my hotbar, and I just turned around and got hit in the face with a trident, so it's entirely my own fault. I did not have a planned getaway, even with knowing that he was going to try and hunt me down at some point. So, yeah, so now we've got this, and we're going to need to throw this in someone else's face. So, yeah, thanks, Tiz. We went and got ourselves some sea lanterns and also made ourselves some green concrete, and we've got the delivery system all sorted now as well. I did end up having to push the clock back, but that's fine. I've just pushed it a few blocks further back. And down here, we are starting to collect some sugarcane, which is marvellous. So this thing should just run on its own. I mean, obviously there's only 72 plants here. It's not going to be producing tons and tons, but it should produce more than enough for what I need. I do need to sort out this bit out here. I've got to get out of it, you. Go away. So there's a dark patch here that keeps spawning things, and I may have had a creeper incident. I didn't die, but it did go a little bit explodey on me, and right, that should help. So the reason this is all dug out is actually because we have a tunnel here, which then leads out into the sort of main cave mountain system. So we are going to be sorting out this tunnel, but we'll probably have to save that for another episode, because today, that's all we've got time for, I'm afraid. If you have enjoyed the episode though, please do leave a like, and if you're new here, please do also consider subscribing, and I'll see you on the next episode of Truly Bedrock. Bye-bye now. You! What have you got? Dirt mini block. Jungle planks, grass, emerald, beacons. Well, I had a trader. I just... What is my luck?